Hello, and welcome to the Scenic Route with me, Victoria Stewart, where we talk about the route less traveled or route unexpected that we take in our lives that take us off of where we thought we were going when we were kids, when we were young, and how magical it can be when we do get off the superhighway and start traveling our own route. So today I have Joby with me. She is the founder of Joby Dance. So thank you for being here, Joby. And would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you for having me. So I'm Jo. I am a dance teacher, dance person, dance everything. I've always taught dance, that's been my thing. And then about 3 years ago, I decided I wanted to do more within my career and what I was already doing. So I do dance events, dance classes, everything, and it's great.
Beautiful. So, in you saying that, it sounds like as a kid, is it true that as a kid you were a dancer?
Yeah, so I've always danced ever since I was little. I
Mhm.
used to spend my whole Saturdays in classes, singing, dancing, and just performing and being on stage whenever possible, which I loved. And then decided that was what I wanted to do as a job. And yeah, I was very lucky. I got into teaching dance and went into schools to teach children and worked, had different little things that would come up where I would go and dance at events or different performances and teach adults occasionally, but it was quite sporadic. My main thing was working in schools, teaching children, which I loved and I still love. But then, yeah, kind of 3 years ago, I decided I wanted a bit more, and so tried to move away from there. So take a different route and yeah, just try and do more of the things that I kind of hadn't done yet or was only doing a little
Mm,
bit of.
yep.
And yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing even more now, which is the best.
So I'm curious, did something happen in your life that triggered this? Oh, I would like this to feel a little different. I would like to be challenged a little bit more. Like, did something happen or was it just hmm,
I
as
think,
sometimes happens?
yeah, I know a lot of people sort of on New Year's get around that time and they're
Mm-hmm.
really like, oh, I'm gonna have a new year, new me. But it was for me, it's always been my birthday. I get
Ah,
every year and I think, oh, what's gonna happen now? What's gonna happen now? And I'd always, for years, I'd looked at different things, not thinking, oh, I'm amazing, I can do anything, but I'd look at things and think, oh, why can't I do that? Maybe I should try and do that. And then I just didn't do anything about it.
mm,
And then just another birthday came and I was talking to my friends. I was like, oh, I'd really like to do this, I'd really like to do that. But I just never kind of, I say I'd never got out of my own way. Like the only
mm-hmm.
thing that was stopping me was me,
Yep.
imposter syndrome, and, I'm good, but dot, dot, dot.
Like
And
that, yeah.
yeah, I just got to the point where I was like, I'm going to try and do some more things. I didn't really have a plan. I didn't know what. Um, so I just started a new Instagram to put dance videos or class info about classes. And then something kind of just came over me, and I just decided to shoot my shot everywhere and message and say, hey, can I do this? Do you want me to do that? Can I come and do some dancing? And since then, I've had some of the best opportunities and experiences ever than I've had in my whole 20 years of teaching. There's just sort of so much has happened in the last 3 years, and it's yeah, very great.
So was the first step like the Instagram account? Was that the first thing that you did to kind of like, okay, let me push myself, let me put myself out there?
Yeah, because I'd always had social media, but it was just for pictures of holidays or whatever I was having for dinner. And I was like, I need to try and I was seeing so many. I think unfortunately I was comparing myself a
Yeah,
lot on social media, as a lot of people do,
as we all
and
do. Yeah.
thinking, oh, they look good. Oh, I wish all of that comparison is the thief of joy. And I thought, oh, let me see. And I just gave it a try. And through that, I think I started to take myself a bit more seriously, which is
Mm,
weird because it's just Instagram.
yeah.
But it kind of gave me a little starting point. Like, I'm not Instagram famous or anything at all, but just by having that, it was kind of a bit of accountability as well, maybe.
Hmm. Okay.
Posting and thinking, all right, what can I post? What looks good? What am I proud of? What can I post about? And sort of seeing it through maybe other people's eyes, how they would be seeing it. I was like, oh, actually, yeah, I've done some good things that I kind of didn't give myself credit for, because I was like, oh, I'm just doing this, I'm just doing that. And so I think, yeah, that was a bit of a step.
That's very interesting that that your experience got you to reflect on what you had accomplished already in your life, because I feel like social media usually isn't that way, right? Like it's
Yeah.
you start being like, oh, but I haven't done all these other things. But for you, you gave you that pause of like, oh, what could I share that is cool? And
Yeah.
you had
I
done all these
think
cool things.
I think I definitely always minimized what I'd done.
Yeah,
Like I said, I'd say something, but it'd be a but. So, oh, I've
right.
done this, but yes, I'm a
Hmm.
dance teacher, but it's only in schools. It's not in a big studio or. So I think it was, and that's I was being humble, I guess, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I didn't think I was quite doing. I didn't think I was reaching my full potential. I thought, oh, I can do more. So by saying that, I'm only doing that, but I've been a dance teacher for my whole career. I've managed to keep that up, and I definitely didn't think of
No.
that as an achievement. I was like, oh, I'm just doing it. I'm just getting on.
Yeah, but that is an achievement, right? That's not many people get to keep doing the thing that they've loved since they were kids, right? That's
Yeah, and especially
amazing.
now it's evolved.
Yeah,
It's even more enjoyable.
that's awesome. So I'm curious, like what once you started putting yourself out there asking like, hey, can I come do this? Can I come do this? Are you interested? All these things. Do you want to share some of the highlights of the things you were able to do that really helped you kind of motivate yourself to keep it going? That really felt good?
Yeah, I mean, apart from setting up my Instagram, the first thing I did was I need to go back to dance classes. I had a bit of a stigma, and I still kind of do, to be honest, about going to other people's classes, because I was like,
Mm,
I'm a dance teacher. I should be really good at this. I should get it all right. I should get the moves really quickly. And I felt embarrassed if I'm like, I don't get this, which is exactly what I preach now to people. I'm like,
yeah.
it should be fun. It should be, but it's progress. And I started going to classes, and I went to one of the most known studios in London, Pineapple Studios in Covent Garden, and I just started doing some more classes because I hadn't been since I was like a lot younger. And then through that, I had conversations, I met some people, and I ended up teaching there. So I'm still there doing some of their events and some of their classes. And that is, even like saying it now, it is, if I sit and really think about it, like, I remember looking through the window of the studio that's right on the street and being like, oh. So it's kind of weird. Like, again, I just think of it like, oh, I've got work, but I'm going there tomorrow to teach. But it's, yeah, little me would be very, whoa, that's pretty cool. So that's a big one.
Hmm.
Um, I had a really chance meeting with someone and ended up choreographing a short film that was shown in New York, and we went to New York and watched it. And that was, again, I never would have dreamed of saying to someone, oh, well, I can do it. But I never would have done that. Never. But I was like, if you need a choreographer, and she was like, oh, we've already got one, but like, keep in touch. I was like, yeah, sure. And then the choreographer couldn't do it. So I ended up doing it and got loads of the girls that I know to come and dance in it. And it was such a great experience. And bringing people along for the ride as well
Yeah.
was just great. So yeah, I think those two were pretty big. But being able to work with other people like being self-employed and doing my own thing, obviously working with children, love them, so much fun. But I didn't have that kind of work system, like the
Mhm.
people around me to kind
Yeah.
of talk to about what I was doing. So now I've started reaching out to other people who do yoga or meditation or just anything to do with movement and feeling good. And I work with other women to do sort of female empowerment stuff. So speaking to them and creating events with them and just bringing it to new people, because that's kind of my aim really. I want everyone to dance as much as people will go to yoga. I want them to come to dance and just forget everything for an hour and loud music, big dancing, and if you get the moves wrong it doesn't matter. So yeah,
Yeah.
working and being able to share more of that with events and things has been, yeah, has been really, really good.
That's so cool. And I love how you said you started by going back to class, right? Because I think we can get so into the doing of things that we forget how good it is for us to keep on learning, and even if it and even if it feels like it's just for fun, right? Like then like how you connect to what you're doing in what feels like a new way, and it can be so good.
Yeah, I found like I completely have fallen in love with dance all over again. It feels like a completely new chapter and a completely new stage of my life. And I've been teaching dance for over 20 years. So
Yeah.
to feel like this new and excited, because I was kind of doing the same thing,
Right.
and it was great. I had no, I wouldn't have said I was unhappy
Hmm.
or unfulfilled, but there was, like I said, that little itch of, is there more? And now that I've had like a little taste of the more, I want more of the more.
Well, it sounds so cool, right? Because it's like you I feel like you it sounds like with that birthday, with the going to class, with the talking to people, it's almost like you've opened the door to allow in these other opportunities. Like you're just like, hey, I could choreograph this. Like it's like they talk about in manifesting, right? You put the dream
Yep.
out and then you let go of it, and it and maybe it will come back, and maybe it will come back in a way you never like dreamed of it coming back, because like pineapple.
Even this, even
Yeah.
doing a podcast, that's again 3 years ago. No, because it's not that I wasn't confident with who I was, what I was doing, but I would never have dreamed of being on a podcast, because what am I going to talk about? Who's That's not a me thing. And now here we are.
Well, and I think it's fun that you're in London and I'm in Florida, and we
Yep.
connected on Facebook of all places,
Huh?
right? Like it's
Yep.
just so funny how like in-person connections are so important, but the virtual, you never know who you're going to get connected with,
Yeah.
and it's just so neat. And it kind of goes back to kind of like how you're now building these collaborations with these other movement practitioners, right? Because
Hmm.
this is not just movement, moving your body, but it's a movement overall of like, how do we get people back in touch with their bodies, knowing what their bodies want and love and all of that, because it can be so
Yeah.
hard, right? We're
Yeah. And I think what I'm up against at the moment, which is what I'm trying to, fix, is that I think dance should be a big part of sort of health and well-being.
yeah.
I think we're very much in our yoga, Pilates, all of that really calm well-being, which is great, and I do enjoy. I'm not very calm. I'm a very energetic, loud person, and if I've got something going on, the best therapy for me is to dance, because for that hour I will not be thinking of anything else. Even if I'm teaching, I still get that same feeling whether I'm taking a class or I'm leading the class,
Yeah.
and I want people to get out of their own way. They'll say to me, "Oh, but I'm not a dancer." Yeah, but You don't need to be a dancer. You just, it's different if you're putting together, if I was choreographing a show or putting together something, for a film or a performance, yeah, you kind of, it does have to look a certain way.
Yeah.
But in my classes, in my events, I don't care what you're doing. If you're just standing at the back, just going for it, then you're having a good time. I'm having a good time. What more do you want? So I think it's just trying to get people to step out of their comfort zones and maybe do something that they haven't done since they were younger. So many women come to my classes and say, "Oh, I used to dance. I haven't danced since I was a kid." I'm like, "Why? Come and do it more." I mean, I don't do it as much as I should, to be honest. But you know, we can't be perfect.
Yeah, well, and it's kind of two things, right? I think we forget that almost every culture going back had dance, right? It's all dance, it's all ritual, it's all communal, right? You get together with people, you dance, and like we forget that we're such a sedentary culture, and we also have so much judgment that it has to be done right, rather than it's like, right? Like it doesn't have to be that.
No, and I think I definitely had that. I mean, my dream when I was younger was to be a dancer or a singer or in, musicals on the stage. But I didn't think I was good enough. I knew I was good, but I knew I wasn't good enough. And even now, in the last few years where I've kind of been, trying to do more and kind of step out of my comfort zone, I know that I'm not the best dancer. I know I'm not the best choreographer. But I also now know that I don't need to be.
Hmm.
And so I don't need to be the best dancer in the world to teach you a lesson and to give you a great time and for you to have fun in my class. I don't need that. So that was very freeing. And that is what I try and, encourage everyone that's going to come to anything I'm doing, that you don't have to be the best. It doesn't matter what it looks like, it matters how it feels. And if it feels good, then that's it. And I get that that's hard because, like I said, even myself going into classes now, I will still try my best to look good. I, but that's I guess the training in me.
Imagine maybe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that maybe like the big group events that you're leading, I would imagine it's a little easier for people to feel a little bit more free with their movement rather than when it's like a class, right? In a class, a lot of us have this expectation of we need to do really well because we need to get an A plus, at least people like
Right.
me.
Yeah, I mean, I did a big event a few weeks back for a women's business group, and they were all in their suits and very like really high, like amazing women that had great stories and were doing all their talks. And then I was there to kind of bring some dancing,
Hmm.
and I was so worried. I thought, oh, they don't look like they're gonna really want me to come be like, hey.
Yeah.
But the moment I went up there, oh my goodness, they were the best audience ever. They were so up for it. They were so just ready to dance, to have fun, and considering it was such a big group of women, and I think as women, we are kind of taught to have a little,
Mm.
side eye, a little judgment against another woman. There was none of that. They just got
Wow.
up and they had the best time, and it was really great. And a lot of these women, have got really high power corporate jobs and big businesses, and I just thought, oh, I don't know if, and that was my judgment. That I should not have had that at all. But you have that little bit of a, oh, is this going to go down well? Are these going to be my people? They were definitely my people. They were definitely my people, and they loved it, and I loved working with them.
That's amazing. Yeah, I feel like most women when we receive permission to dance, like we're all like, yes, yes, please, right? But it feels like almost like it needs to be a special occasion rather than a thing you just do because. It feels
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. And I think until you do it, you don't realize how good it is.
Hmm.
Until you've kind of maybe, I don't just mean my classes, I mean kind of anything, whether you go to a Zumba class, a salsa class, thing, until you've done something, I'm not a scientist at all, but there are so many scientific reasons why
Yeah.
movement is so good for you, whatever that is, whether it's something slow, something, you know, more energetic. It's so good for you, especially as women as we get older, for everything our bodies are going through, our brains are going through. Adding movement is just the best thing we could possibly do, whether it's, just walking, going for a long walk, or mainly dancing, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah.
um, so I am curious, is there anything from working with all of these different women from these events, because it's obviously probably not just for women, with the kids, everything, like, is there anything that feels like it would be good to share with the audience on, like, how do you get yourself into it? Is there anything that can, like, help people kind of get over this, like, I'm not a dancer piece, like, or, oh, I haven't danced like a maniac since I was 8, right?
To be honest, that's I'm trying to find that answer too,
Uh-huh.
because I love dancing so much, and it doesn't matter where I am. I could be, in the supermarket. If a song comes on, I'll probably have a little dance. I'm the first one to dance at a party, the last one to leave the dance floor, because that's just me. That's just in me. So I do find it quite hard to see why people don't feel the same. I'm like, why are you not all like doing this? So I'm trying to find the answer. So if you work it out, let me know. But I mean,
Well,
I think it's again, it's a confidence thing for a lot of people. Like I said, to me, dancing around in front of people when there's music on, that doesn't bother me at all. But I do understand that for someone else, that would be like, there is no way I'm going to do that. We're obviously different people, but I feel like you can take steps, whether it's just a case of doing something at home. We're so lucky now, you've got YouTube, you've got all TikTok and all the social media platforms where you can learn any dance or
that's true.
whatever you want. So you've got that. There's classes everywhere. There's classes everywhere. Again, you can just Google classes near me and you'll find somewhere. But I understand that taking that first step, especially to go out in public or to a class, is a lot. And I think that's why something like yoga or meditation or something like that is a lot easier to maybe digest if you're new to anything. So you're like, I'm just going to go, and it's not as look at me,
Right.
I think. And I
Yeah,
want
it's
everyone.
more focused on your inner experience, right? And then you
Yeah,
can start, once you get a little bit more comfortable with your inner experience, then you can. But I also
maybe that.
think that either, like, get small, starting with a small class, right? Like, going to do it in a small group where you're kind of building that muscle again of, like, just having a good time, moving your
Yeah,
body, not being so worried about what other people are seeing, maybe. It's
yeah,
a it's like a muscle you have to practice, 'cause especially if you haven't done it a long time.
yeah, definitely. It's just taking that first step. And there's so many classes and so many other people like me that are trying to just get everyone through the door and have a good time. Not all obviously there are classes in various places that will be a bit more, it needs to look good, and
Yep.
not everyone's like that
But that's
at
not a
all.
beginner class, right? Or just for fun class.
No, no, you hope not anyway.
Right.
I've
You're
been
like,
to some classes where I'm like, whoa, let's slow down here.
oh, awesome. So you were talking about, now you're like coming on podcasts, you're doing all these collaborations. Is there something that's really lighting you up right now as, like, your next goal, or that you're like, oh, I can't wait to be able to try this or do this or share this with people?
I'm very much, I want everything. Now that I've jumped out of that comfort zone, I'm a nightmare. So I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and I'm learning that I need to focus and work on some clarity in my life. But also, I don't want to stop that. I don't want to stop
No.
that. I see something, I'm like, I want to do that. I
Yeah.
need to do everything. So I'm just finding that little balance. Um, I've got a festival. I'm teaching at a festival in 2 weeks, which I'm very excited about. That's in the English countryside. There's lots of different classes, meditation, yoga, all of the goodness. And then I'm going
What's
to
the
be
name
there.
of the festival, just in case?
It's called Wellness in the Wild, and I've never been, and I'm very excited. So yeah, kind of reaching out to more events like that
Mhm.
to get kind of involved. But I
Yeah.
think I've worked out as well that you're not right for everything,
Yeah. Exactly.
and that's okay. And I've learned that, which is hard when I want to do everything. I'm like, maybe that's not a good mesh,
Yeah.
and that's fine. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that and more, just more events. Anything that pops up, I just now will send a message out and be like, hey. And I don't mind if I don't, if nothing comes of it, or if they don't want me, or if I don't get a reply. I just love that I'm actually doing it. Like I love that I'm just sending messages and emails because, like I said, I never would have done that before. Um, I want to get, and this is interesting for you. I want to get into working in corporate
Mm.
areas
Yeah.
as part of their wellness and their well-being programs for their people that work for them. Yeah, they're people. So I'm trying to do that as a little extra thing to go into lovely big offices and shake up the day and try and get them moving and not sitting down at the desk all day. So
Yeah.
that's kind of in the in the plan. But the big goal is always New York. I want to go and teach in New York. New York is my favorite place in the world. I go there as much as I can. And every time I've been in the last 3 years, I've sent emails to anyone I can find. And I haven't really had anything back. But I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep trying. So fingers
You're
crossed.
planting the seeds. You're planting the seeds. They will
I've been
emerge
putting it
from the
out
seeds.
it's been out to the universe for ages now, and it's just it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I met up with a lovely lady who was a dancer, and we hired a studio together, and we created a choreography, and it was really awesome. And so I loved that. But yeah, I've been emailing studios and everything, which again is just crazy to me. Like, but if you don't ask, you don't get. So
Don't ask, you
watch this
don't
space.
get.
Fingers
So,
crossed.
just to add to your manifesting power of doing something in New York, do you want to name some places that are like your dream of teaching there or dancing there?
Well, you've got Broadway Dance Centre, which
Hmm.
I love. I always go there and take classes when I'm there. Um, I want to do something in one of the big parks. I want Bryant Park does a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, when I go, I have had some messages with people, but when I go, it's always like a week before or a week after they've got events. So I'm like,
Yeah.
right, I need to plan this better. So something in Bryant Park would be great. Yeah, but anything. It's just an absolute bucket list that I would love to tick off at some point.
That's beautiful. Amazing. So, we've already talked about this a little bit, but is there anything that you would really love to share with people maybe who have been dancing or haven't been dancing, but like is a little tidbit that you would like to leave people with a little nugget of wisdom or just something you're really enthusiastic about?
I think, like I said, I'd stopped myself for years and I hadn't realized that I was doing it
Hmm.
because, like I said, I am a confident person. I did think I was pretty good at what I was doing. but I don't think I realized that I could do more than that. And, when I got out of my own way and sort of said, the only way I'm going to get to do more is if I try,
Mm-hmm.
that has been, yeah, that has been a big shift for me. And it's made me, I know it sounds really deep, but I've learned so much about myself in those years, and like so much like personal growth that I
Yeah.
didn't think. I thought I was a fully realized human. I thought I was done. Okay. At like 37, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of done. I know who I am. And now I don't know whether it's just getting older or trying different
Yeah.
things. I'm like, wow, okay, this is a lot. And there's great, I mean, Instagram and social media in general, while it's very negative sometimes,
Yeah.
there's also so many good quotes that you see and you're like, oh, wow, that really resonates.
Yes.
And it's the one, and I'll probably get it wrong, but it's like there are people not as good as you doing the thing you want to be doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, like there are dance teachers that are way better than me. There are also dance teachers that aren't doing, what I'm doing. And it's just a great place to be in, to kind of own the fact that I don't need to be the best at what I'm doing to be successful at it and to be fulfilled and to enjoy it. And I guess that can go across anything. That doesn't have to be anything to do with dancing. You don't have to be the best,
Anything.
whatever.
It's whatever
Yeah,
you.
as long as you're doing it well and you're like you think yourself as successful and you're happy, then that's the main thing.
Yes, it is. Well, and
So
I think it's
cheesy.
really no, but I think it's like you were talking about, right? Like we get in our own ways with all those qualifiers, the but, I'm really good at this, but like
Yeah,
I've done it myself many, many times, whether it was in my previous career or even now building the coaching business and the podcast, right? There's always like a but that we can add
yeah,
instead of and look at this amazing
that's
stuff I
it.
have accomplished, or and I would really love to do this, and like giving yourself permission to reach out and just be like, hey, I'm gonna want like
Yeah, and
ask
that's
for
it.
everything and we'll see.
It's the permission. It's the
Mhm.
the imposter syndrome that I didn't think I had, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I definitely did. And I think it's okay to have that sometimes. It just shows that you really care. You're really passionate about it. But And I think if when you stop feeling that a tiny bit, then maybe, you're a bit too. You need to just be, it's good to be grounded. Good
Yes.
to be grounded, not to believe all your own hype all the time.
All the time, but it also
That's
is
how it goes.
important to believe enough of it so that you can push yourself, and because
Yeah,
we can do a whole lot more than I think that we give ourselves credit for. Like you said, if you just start and just
yeah,
be like, oh, let's see what happens, right? And even if it doesn't work out, you still have learned so much potentially that will like lead to the next thing that you're gonna try, which can be really
yeah. And I think, for me and for a lot of people, it was the fear of not doing it.
mm-hmm.
I think that was getting too much. If people don't want me at their events, if people don't want me at their dance studios, okay, like that's fine. But it's the thought of not trying.
Yeah.
And there will still be stuff that I will look at and I won't put myself out there because I'm a bit like, and then eventually maybe I will. It still takes a little while. And that's what I mean. You've got to stay like, you know, that little tiny bit is still a little bit scared.
Yes. Well, I think it will always be, right? You don't, if you aren't feeling a little like uncomfortable, like, are you really growing? Are you really pushing yourself, right? Like you said, this whole process, it's like you're learning more and more about yourself. You're becoming more and more who you are. And if we stay where we are, there isn't that evolution happening.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
So,
love
if
it.
people would like to follow you, know you when you're doing events, whether it's in London, in the UK, here in the US, in New York, or wherever else you're traveling, how can they find you?
So I mainly post on my Instagram. So that's at job_dance. or I have a website, which is www.jobydance.com. And that's mainly where you can find me.
Awesome. And we'll put that in the show notes so people don't have to be
Fabulous.
like, they can just copy and paste. And in some
Yep.
places, it's just click.
Make it easy. Yep.
So thanks so much for being here, Jo, and sharing
Thank you
your
for having me.
wisdom and reminding all of us how important movement and dance specifically is for all of us in like just for the joyfulness and how good it feels and for all the potential benefits that it
Definitely.
has. So thank you so much. Thanks everybody who's been listening. If you like this episode, please follow Jo and learn. And if you're local to her, go to her events. And please share, subscribe, and rate this podcast. That is very helpful. And we will see all of you next time.